Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel.
I'm Nick Morganelli. We'll take you to the town of Ware, to the Apostolate of the Suffering, Mary Farm. They're looking for volunteers, and maybe you can help.
The Diocesan Eucharistic Rosary Congress is held at the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy in Stockbridge. I'm Carolee McGrath. I'll have a story coming up.
And Steve Kiltonic has the story of the 100-year journey of faith and friendship of St. Mary's Guild in Longmeadow. It's all just ahead on this edition of Reel to Reel. Hello and welcome to Reel to Reel as we continue to mark this month dedicated to the Rosary. The Shrine of Divine Mercy in Stockbridge was the host for the Diocesan Rosary Congress last week. It included 7 days of perpetual adoration and a chance to really sit in the true presence of Jesus. Carolee McGrath has more.
Saint Michael, the Archangel, defend us in battle.
For 7 days and nights, people kept watch with our Lord inside the Our Lady of Mercy Oratory on the grounds of the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy in Stockbridge for the 3rd Annual Diocesan Rosary Congress. The Congress ran October 5th through the 11th. People signed up to cover hours around the clock and prayed the Rosary on the hour. Marian Father Mark Barron is the director of the Association of Marian Helpers.
Those hours were filled up with a bunch of people that were just there to adore the Lord and seek Our Lady's intercession for the sake of really bringing peace to the world, peace into our hearts, and in a world that is desperately in need of peace and healing.
The Congress opened on the feast day of St. Faustina, Saturday, October 5th. St. Faustina, a Polish nun, received revelations from Jesus about his message of mercy for the world in the 1930s. The National Shrine of the Divine Mercy in Stockbridge is a ministry of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception, who have been promoting the message given to St. Faustina since 1941.
You're before love itself. You're before He who is the second person of the Holy Trinity through whom all things were created. So our Maker, we're sitting before our Maker, and who is the King of Mercy. And so when we sit before the Blessed Sacrament, we're not sitting before Him in judgment. We're sitting before He who is looking upon us in mercy and recognizes that we don't have it all together, that in many ways we're kind of a hot mess, like I kind of say, that we have our limitations, we have our failures, we sin, but Jesus is like, come to me and I will give you rest.
The Diocese of Springfield joins 40 other dioceses from across the country who are also holding a Eucharistic Rosary Congress this very week. The tradition dates back to 1979 in Poland, when the communist government was resistant to having St. John Paul II visit the country. After 7 days of prayer and perpetual adoration, the visit was permitted. On the final day of the Congress in Stockbridge, Worcester Bishop Robert McManus led a Eucharistic procession from the oratory up to the shrine.
God, the Son, Redeemer of the world, have mercy on us.
Maria Maycook, who directs youth ministry for several Berkshire parishes, said several of her teens and their families signed up for hours to pray before Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament.
Every single week, right in Lenox at St. Anne Parish, we have a Holy Hour for Youth that brings together students from grades 5 through 12, and these students look forward to spending time with Jesus every week. So when they heard about this, they were very excited to bring their families and get to spend time with their families in front of our Lord.
Maycook helped organize the event.
My friend put it so beautifully the other day when she looked at me and she said, "Why worry? Don't you know you are in your mother's heart?" And that's why we're here. That's why we're here to remember that, because we need that reminder all the time. So people are bringing their prayers to Mary, knowing that just as she courageously held Jesus in her for 9 months and watched him through his life, through the joys, through the struggles, that she too can hold what we have and bring it to her beloved Son.
Bishop McManus celebrated the closing Mass at the shrine. Reporting for Reel to Reel in Stockbridge, I'm Carolee McGrath.
What an inspirational story. Thanks so much, Carolee. And now we take you to another national shrine in the Diocese of Springfield. Located on what was once a working dairy farm in Palmer is the National Shrine for the Apostolate of the Suffering, also known as Mary Farm. The shrine relies on volunteers to keep this ministry open. Nick Morganelli paid a visit to Mary Farm over the summer and brings us this story.
Mary Farm volunteers had fellowship with one another and celebrated all they have accomplished in the past year. Current President Dennis Hamill explains how important it was to get everyone together for one day.
It's just nice where we're not working now. We get to have some good food together, enjoy our company, play some games, and just talk to each other in general, because we don't all get a chance to come together as a large group like this. So we have some new people, and we're giving them tours of Mary Farm.
The farm is not just a place for prayer, but has a wonderful purpose in service to others.
Keeping the goal that my father, as one of the founding fathers, had in mind of having Mary Farm as a retreat for handicapped people. This is the national headquarters for the United States of America of the Apostolate of Suffering. In whatever way you suffer. So we come together in prayer and we offer up our suffering to Jesus on the cross. And so we unite our prayers to God in thanksgiving for his son.
Stasia Bronner, parishioner at St. Mary's in Ware, is a past president and has been volunteering here for a decade.
It didn't take much convincing because the message, what to do with the suffering. Do we get angry with God or do we offer it to God and suffer with him?
What used to be a dairy farm now has several places where you can enjoy quiet time or prayer with the Lord.
We got 10 acres, we got a beautiful brook that runs in the back. We have stations of the cross that are hand-carved marble from Italy. We have a large rosary outside the cross that surrounds the cross. And people go out and they'll pray the rosary, put their hand on each bead and pray the rosary and walk.
With all this land, buildings, and places for prayer, they are in need of the time and talent of additional volunteers.
It's just like having a home. We have lawn mowing to do. There's 10 acres. We have weed whacking to do around the house, the flower beds. We have flower beds that need maintenance and care every day. You got to water them, you got to weed them. We have painting and staining of different parts of the hall. We have some tree work that needs to be done. We have some electrical work, some plumbing work. Everything we do here is volunteer work. This is all a devotion, like I said, to the Blessed Virgin Mary. We only have a handful of people right now that are volunteering.
Patricia Boynton found healing in Mary Farm after the loss of her son, who died in the military nearly 10 years ago.
About 3 years ago, I really started healing quite a bit, and gardening became my therapy. It's really from Mother Mary, and she helped me so much through the loss of our son. And while I was working out here last year, I would look at the statue, I would pray, and talk to Mary, and I thought, she needs a makeover. God, it really provides for us. A woman emailed me and said she was interested in the Mary Farm and told me in the course of our conversation that she restores statues. And so she offered to do Mother Mary for us. So this year, she is new. We have one woman who is pretty much a master gardener, and she's creating a beautiful rock garden on one side of the house.
That's Regina Mace. She and her husband, Edmund, spend their time with the landscaping as well.
Patty and I found the St. Francis statue and I said, that would be perfect with what I'm doing. I was thinking in the other section of it will be the bird bath. I just love it here. So this was an opportunity for me to garden and just explore. And then it's so beautiful and peaceful here just to, pray. He's wanting to build it back up so that this is back up to a retreat center like it used to be, and I'm all down for that. I mean, I'm whatever I can do to help, I'm here for.
And we hope you can join Regina and others as their next volunteer. Finding peace and healing in suffering. For Real to Real, I'm Nick Morganelli.
To get involved with the Apostolate of the Suffering at Mary Farm, you can email Dennis Hamill at maryfarm@comcast.net or call 413-283-4529. And still to come on Real to Real, Dan Dumas will have the latest news briefs from around Western Massachusetts. And St. Mary's Guild in Longmeadow celebrates its 100th anniversary. Steve Kiltonic will have that story. It's all still ahead on Real to Real.
Like Catholic TV on Facebook. Once you're there, you can join in on discussions, make friends with other Catholic TV fans, watch behind-the-scenes videos from the studio,
Just finished this today.
and stay up to date with the Catholic world. All this at facebook.com/CatholicTV.
I'm Dan Dumas with your Reel to Reel news briefs. A 9-month extensive renovation of the baldacchino, the ornate and giant canopy that rises over the main altar of St. Peter's Basilica, will be formally revealed next Sunday during a Mass to be celebrated by Pope Francis. The project was funded by the Knights of Columbus. A crew from the Vatican-based Catholic News Service got a sneak peek recently from high above the main altar and filed this report.
Despite periodic cleanings which require acrobatic efforts to dust the towering baldacchino in St. Peter's Basilica, the iconic Bernini structure standing 10 stories above the tomb of St. Peter had not been professionally restored in 260 years. Earlier in 2024, journalists were granted access to witness the complex scaffolding being assembled around the structure. The restoration is being funded by the US-based Knights of Columbus. In the days leading up to its official inauguration, October 27th, a special press visit allowed journalists to climb nearly 100 feet above St. Peter's tomb to see the restored baldacchino up close and observe restorers completing their work. Repairs were also made to the large bronze statue at the altar of the chair, temporarily removing the cathedra, which tradition claims dates back to St. Peter himself, the first pope. Journalists were able to witness the intricate details of the baldacchino, including the bees, a symbol of the Barberini family, who commissioned the work and to which the pope at the time of its construction, Pope Urban VIII, belonged, as well as the workers' tools and the remarkable views of the basilica from above. Father Enzo Fortunato said the restoration, which was commissioned to celebrate the Jubilee year of 2025, will be unveiled with a papal mass on October 27th for the close of the Synod of Bishops on Synodality, during which the baldachin, like the Synod itself, will serve as a reminder of the beauty of humanity and the beauty of being together.
L'inaugurazione è il 27 ottobre, un'inaugurazione che ci ricorda un avvenimento importante, la giornata di preghiera per la pace nel mondo con Giovanni Paolo II. Quindi questo restauro in questa data ci ricorda non solo la bellezza, ma anche la centralità della pace nell'azione della Chiesa e direi per la speranza e nel cuore dell'umanità.
And the estimated cost for this restoration will be close to $1 million. Since 1980, the Knights have funded 17 various Vatican restoration projects. In West Springfield, students at St. Thomas the Apostle School got a break from their classroom routine and enjoyed a bit of fresh air as they put on their sneakers for the school's annual walkathon. Steve Kiltonic was there for the festive event.
On October 11th, the playing fields behind St. Thomas the Apostle School were transformed into a sea of walkers as the 5th annual walkathon was held on a brisk, sunny day. The entire student body, from pre-K to 8th grade, took part in the annual school fundraiser. The upbeat music kept the kids motivated as each class wore its unique school color. Previous walkathons raised money for textbooks, physical education equipment, as well as the art and music departments. Principal Beth Hawley explained what the need was for this year.
We're hoping to raise money for our computer laboratory, and we're going to improve on our software, our computer hardware, our server, and we're looking to just upgrade our equipment throughout the entire school and purchase new PCs and monitors and then maybe a couple of Chromebooks too in the middle school.
Volunteers from the PTO set up the various grids for the students to walk or run in prior to the 9 a.m. start.
We have a grid for the preschool children only, and then K through 2, 3 through 5, and then the middle schoolers will be the last grid.
Here you go. Keep walking.
Parents cheered on the students throughout the morning. Boomer from the Springfield Thunderbirds hockey team also made an appearance, high-fiving the students, some of whom ran to reach their pledge goals. Former Principal Sister Patty Houghton could also be seen walking laps with the students.
We told the kids if they have lap donations, or lap pledges if you would, to try and keep it down to maybe 35 laps.
Ella has been participating in the walkathons since the beginning.
Then we stop at a table to get check marks, and you do either a flat donation or you donate money for each time that you walk around.
And how many laps did you do?
I did 23, I believe.
And how much money were you able to raise?
I think I raised $50.
A fellow 8th grader Eric elected to run in an effort to reach the 35-lap limit.
It was a little bit brisk, but we got through it okay, so that's a plus.
And how many laps did you do?
I did 34. It's just such a great atmosphere in the school, and it's just so much fun.
Fresh apple cider donuts and juices awaited the students at the finish line before they headed back to their classrooms. There was also raffle prizes for those who purchased tickets. Holly hopes to reach last year's total for the computer upgrade. In West Springfield, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
And finally, congratulations to the Pope Francis Prep golf team, which captured the Division II Western Mass title last Tuesday. Led by senior Michael McGrath, the Cardinals placed 5 golfers in the top 20, beating out Wacona High School for the team championship at Taconic Country Club in Williamstown. After a slow start, McGrath came storming back, coming just 1 stroke shy of tying for first place in the Division II golf tournament. Other Cardinal top 20 finishers include Quinn Wadowitz, who tied for 3rd, Jack Diaz and Jack Olette, who tied for 7th, and Brody Faniff, who tied for 19th. And if Michael McGrath looks familiar, he is the son of our very own Carolee McGrath. The Cardinals now head to the Division II State Championship on Monday at the Berkshire Hills Country Club in Pittsfield. We wish them the best of luck. And you could read more on these and other stories at iobserve.org, where you can find articles from our Catholic communications staff, as well as on-demand episodes of Real to Real. That's iobserve.org. I'm Dan Dumas, and those were your Real to Real news briefs.
Now, here are some events coming up in Western Massachusetts. On October 27th, the Ladies Guild of St. Paul the Apostle Church in Springfield is sponsoring a concert featuring inspirational songs performed by Earls and Pearls at 3 p.m. in the church located at 235 Dwight Road. Tickets are $10 and can be purchased in advance or at the door the day of the concert. For more information, email rkddsav@comcast.net. Our Lady of the Cross Parish in Holyoke will hold their Fall Festival on Saturday, October 26th from 11 to 6 and Sunday, October 27th from 11 to 5 at 67 St. Colby Drive in Holyoke. There will be entertainment, vendors, food, and games. Please call the parish office at 413-532-5661 with any questions. And Our Lady of the Lake in Southwick is hosting a pilgrimage to the National Shrine of Our Lady of La Salette in Attleboro on December 7th. The cost is $35 per person and is due by November 17th. If you would like to attend, please email or call Diana David at dlmdavid555@gmail.com or call 413-537-3249. And we have these and more events listed on our calendar page at diospringfield.org. You can also submit calendar items by emailing them to calendar@diospringfield.org or by mail to Calendar Submissions in care of Catholic Communications, Box 1730, Springfield, Massachusetts, 01102. Finally today, St. Mary's Guild in Longmeadow is a women's group of faith, friendship, and fundraising that recently marked its 100-year anniversary. Steve Hiltonic explains the Guild history and all of the activities and events that have made it a spiritual and financial success over the years.
On June 2, 1924, Father Richard Murphy gathered with 84 women at the original St. Mary's Church on William Street to establish St. Mary's Guild. The organization's main purpose was to raise money to build a new, larger, and permanent house of worship. The Guild raised $16,000, which enabled the purchase of property on Longmeadow Street, where the new Gothic-style church would be built. The first Mass was held in St. Mary's on Christmas Eve, 1931. Over the following century, through its various lawn parties, silver teas, bake sales, raffles, and other socials, the Guild funded many church projects, including the purchase of the marble altar, hanging crucifix, bell refurbishment, and the building of the school and new rectory. The Guild contributed not only financially, but to the social life of the parish, coming together in service, devotion, and faith. On September 21st, Guild members, along with their families and friends, gathered at Twin Hills Country Club to celebrate its rich 100-year legacy. On display was various memorabilia, with historical books, photo albums, and a prized silver tea set. Father C.J. Wojtakis is the latest in a long line of pastors who has received support from the Guild throughout his 9-year tenure at St. Mary's.
When I think of the Ladies Guild, I think of them primarily as a support system for each other, a prayerful group, and as well they help the parish make projects come to fruition. So I'm very grateful for them.
Michelle DePippo is a longtime junior and adult member of the Guild. Like her mother, Terry, Michelle served as officer and president.
The friendship and the community that you gain by participating in a social activity like this, on whatever scale you can do, the rewards to you are tenfold. In the 40s and 50s, most of the members were largely homemakers. Now we are a more diverse group. You have business owners and professionals and stay-at-home mothers, and all walks of life are welcome and participate.
Polly Logan has been a member for 62 years. Also a former president, Polly joined after moving to town with a young family. She said meetings were once held in various officer homes, then at the Guild Room located in St. Mary's School.
I worked on the Altar Society, which years ago we used to clean the church. And for 25 years I decorated the church for Christmas and Easter. We used to have luncheons, we used to have teas.
While president, Logan wrote the Guild prayer, which is still recited before each meeting.
I have so many women that I've known now for many, many years. You form good friendships.
Patricia Clark and Shireen Quinlan share the Guild's 97th presidency. The 5 scholarships the Guild hands out each year to high school seniors is funded primarily by the group's largest single fundraising event, the Christmas Holiday Craft Fair.
That is a huge event between book sales and bake sales and just setting up for all the vendors that come in to sell their wares, and we sell food. It's an all-day event, but I think we probably plan for months in advance, and we probably take several days prior leading up to it to actually set it up. And the raffles that you mentioned too, they do generate a lot of buzz.
One of the Guild's annual service projects is the Children Matter Bags, or CMBs.
For about 5 weeks, the whole parish is involved with this. We fill bags for either a boy or a girl, clothing, books, all kinds of items, chock full, and then we deliver it all on one day, a big caravan of cars to the YWCA, and it's just amazing.
In the spring, the Lenten service project is the Blessing Bags.
Same kind of concept, except toiletries, and then we bring it, this year we brought it to the Friends of the Homeless. in Springfield.
The Guild's Honor Guard pays respect to deceased Guild members by attending funeral masses. During Lent, the Guild hosts an evening of reflection, which brings the entire parish together. And the Altar Society beautifies the sanctuary, putting out flowers and decorations for the seasons. More recently, the Guild funded a new sign at the Parish Center and the installation of new church parking lot lights.
They gave us the funds to totally renovate what we call the Mary Garden outside. The sign that we currently have out front in front of our church, we wanted to update that with new lighting and add our academy to it, the name of the academy. They took care of that.
And Father CJ, in turn, has always had the Guild's back.
I call him our cheerleader. He's always talking about us at Mass, he's always cheering us on, and always giving us plenty of accolades. It's very nice.
At the anniversary dinner, the Guild again expressed thanks to the parish in a big way.
We'd like to present a check for $10,000 to St. Mary's Parish.
Father CJ said the money will be going toward the painting of the church interior next year. A surprise guest was Father Francis Riley, who served as pastor of St. Mary's for 13 years. He and Father CJ entertained the receptive crowd with a trio of classic favorites. The final song was a tribute to all Guild members over the years, living or deceased.
This song's for you. I didn't know it was going to be, but now that you're gone away from me, I want to celebrate your memory. And until we meet again, oh, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
Here's a toast to the ladies of St. Mary's Guild for their century journey of faith and friendship. For Real to Real, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
In the palm of his hand.
And Steve says the Guild's annual Christmas Holiday Craft Fair will take place on Saturday, December 7th from 9 to 3 in the auditorium of St. Mary's Academy in Longmeadow. This festive event and fundraiser will include many treasured holiday gift baskets and great food. All are invited to attend. And for this week, that's Real to Real. Be sure to follow the latest news of the Catholic Church, both here in Western Massachusetts and around the world, on our news and information website, iobserve.org. There you will find articles prepared by our Catholic Communications reporting team, as well as our partners at Our Sunday Visitor and the Catholic News Agency. That's iobserve.org. And we're also on Facebook, and you can follow us there at Catholic Communications. I'll see you at this same time next week for another edition of Real to Real, your window on the world around you. Enjoy your week.
Real to Real is a production of the Catholic Communications Corporation, funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, and the support of you, our faithful viewers.